it's Amanda here with your Team RuneScope. An announcement this month, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently as far as format. So the readings themselves are going to be, you'll just see the table and hands from now on, because it's the only way I can kind of work all of these videos in throughout the month in addition to my full-time job. So if you still want the videos, we're going to have to do it that way. I will try to always do an intro video like this though, because I know it's not the preferable format, but that's the only way I can really kind of like squeeze them in whenever I get the chance without having to, put all the time into looking actually decent or camera ready. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. This month, in conjunction with our runes, we will be using this awesome new deck that I got, the Golden Thread Tarot by Labyrinthos. It's a really cool deck. It's not very camera friendly, unfortunately, though. So just a heads up. Probably won't use it on camera again, but I was so excited to get it. I wanted to give it a go. And then, as always, be sure to join me for part 2 of your December reading over on the Vimeo channel. This month, for your spiritual guidance, I will be pulling and interpreting one card from the Goddess Guidance Oracle by Doreen Virtue, just to get additional wisdom and advice for how to handle how you can handle the energies. That link to the Vimeo channel is below, as are all other details regarding the channel. I think that's it for now. And so let's get on to the RuneScope. Hey Aries, it's Amanda here with your December RuneScope. Get our runes cast and get going here. If you're wondering about the camera angle, it's covered in the intro. So yeah, rewind it back if you're that curious, and all will be revealed. As always, keep in mind, Aries, these are general readings. So I'm talking to a lot of different Aries peeps. So some messages will hopefully be for you, but there are going to be some that come through that are for the other Rams who are watching. That's why I always recommend you check out the video for your rising sign as well. Often months, you will find that is the more specific, or that all of your messages come through your rising sign video instead of your sun sign. So just something to keep in mind. You can always set up a private session if you want me to just connect with your energy and give you more specific messages. But in general, what are you up to, Aries friends? Remember, we're going to start in the present energy. So this is going to be for most of you end of July. No, not I. Where am I? End of going into early-ish. Got the World card. Excellent card. Let me see what's going on here. Well, it looks like many of you are resolving some sort of conflict. You're coming to an agreement. Somebody that you've had an argument with could be offering you the world, but this is normally a goal or a culmination, reaching a goal. And because we've got like relationship, particularly family relationships, this could be a mother, a mother-in-law, or one of your children. Like you're coming to some sort of resolution, resolving an argument, an issue, something of that nature with someone who's very important to you. But it could be anyone close to you. It certainly could be a love partner. It could be your spouse. There's something like we're gonna, because this is the end of a cycle, right? The World, it's the last card in the entire tarot deck. It's the last major. So yeah, we're done with this cycle and we're starting anew with Ingwas. There's a new journey, a new project, something new that you're doing together. Some of you could be starting a business with a family member or friend. And maybe you were disagreeing on the way you were going to go about this, but now you've resolved that. You could also be planning a trip. This can also be, world travel, especially if you're going like overseas or to another country, long distance travel. So yeah, maybe you were planning a trip with one of your kids or, your mother, your mother-in-law, an older sister. Maybe you disagreed on where to go, what you were going to do, and maybe you're taking the trip here the beginning of summer, and it turns out to be wonderful, even though maybe you had some disagreements over the planning or where you were going to go or the things you were going to see. it does seem that you've resolved most of that here, Aries, at the beginning of November, most of you. Now, for others of you, the present will be whenever you're watching this video. If you're not watching in that time frame, this could be the energy that's kind of going on whenever you check in here on YouTube and see this video. But yeah, there's a resolution to some sort of disagreement. Maybe you're traveling with someone that you have never traveled with before, and you were like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. Maybe you thought it was going to be not the best outcome, and it turns out to be quite wonderful. I do though think that you're getting some sort of recognition though from someone here, Aries, about you were right, or I'm sorry, there's somebody could be saying, you were right about this person, or you were right about the way I handled this, it was wrong. You could be getting some sort of resolution to a conflict with someone close to you here. And, they could be offering you something too, as like a gift of apology, some sort of token of appreciation. There could be something of that nature that they're, they want to give you like an apology gift of some sort. So, hey, can't beat that. Let's see what the challenge is going to be for the month. You've got the Seven of Wands. Here's what it looks like in this very sparkly deck. So, yeah, there was some sort of somebody being defensive, feeling like they were maybe being attacked, like they had to defend their stance, defend their viewpoint. It could have been you that felt that you had to do that. Again, I think this is related to whatever this was. So, I mean, if this has already happened, Aries, if this happened or happened earlier in the summer or something, it seems like maybe this is still kind of hanging around. And it does seem to have to do with like someone you live with, a family member. Someone who is in your daily life, part of your daily life. So someone you live with. You are resolving this though. I think the challenge is that it's someone you don't want to lose, you don't want to push away. But you're feeling like somebody who is kind of coming at you in some way, or you did feel that way. And maybe there's been some time to kind of think about it. And that's what's kind of resulting in this apology, or someone kind of coming to their senses or offering you an apology. Let me see what else comes through with this. For some of you, you could be dealing with whenever this rune comes up, it can be connected to wills, inheritances, things left by other people, possessions. It could be somebody who was defending a will. Maybe you were defending someone's will, defending their choices that they made, and that, because we do have legalities next to this as well. So some of you could be dealing with that. Others of you be moving long distance. You'd be moving very far away, or you're talking about moving, and it may be to accept a job, because the world can also mean promotion, recognition, achieving a big goal. So, and it could be at a company that's taking you away from, family members, or, you're going to be moving away, and they're trying to talk you out of it, or they don't want you to go, or they're trying to, and you're having to defend why you're doing this. Because there could be property, real estate deals going on here, and they're tied to relocation for work, or, it could be your spouse that's dealing with that, and you of course, are going to. But somehow property and legalities, contracts, wills could all be part of this, and that's what you're defending. You're defending your decision, or you're defending someone else's decisions. And it's your challenge to do that. But the Seven of Wands is all about being in the higher ground and standing your ground and not letting people run over you, or change your mind, or you're definitely going to be defending it's something you feel passionate about, the Seven of Wands. It's a very fiery energy. So whatever this decision is, Aries, you feel very strongly about it, and you've made up your mind. And other people just not understand why, or understand your viewpoint, but you're going to help them understand. maybe a bit heatedly, or maybe that's what happened before, but it does seem that this is going to be worked out. But let's see what the help is going to be. The Page of Cups. Okay, some of you are moving to be with a long distance love, because the Page of Cups can be a message of love. It can be a lot of messages going back and forth that are very heartfelt. It could be this apology. Aries, in this situation, for some of you, maybe it's you that owes someone the apology. That could be too. Again, I'm talking to some people. This can always work different ways. So I gotta, it can always go the other way too. So yeah, if you want someone in your life and you're kind of thinking about it and thinking, well, maybe I acted out of haste. Maybe I kind of laid it on, maybe I got too upset or too angry. If that's the situation, it will help you to offer a sincere, heartfelt apology. But not in a way that backs down from your decision, because the rune there is all about, standing in your truth and still, so you won't be apologizing for the decision, but maybe, there's something about it that you're like, I'm not going to change this, but I am sorry in the way I handled it. Because I think it's the handling of a situation, really. Maybe it was just a bad day, or, just one of those mornings or something where, somebody just said the wrong thing at the wrong time. But others of you, it's going to help you to receive this apology. It's going to help you to repair whatever happened here, whatever this situation was. Others of you, I think it's helping you. You're dealing with this, getting these love messages from the person you're going to be with. So if you're not moving for a job, some of you could be moving to be with a long distance partner, and others of you, it could be a child that's kind of helping you deal with this situation. This could be a water sign child with the Page of Cups. Could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. So yeah, they could be, actually wiser than their years, is what I'm hearing. So yeah, your kid or your stepchild, or a little niece or nephew, one of these kids around you could just say something that's just so profound and so wise about this situation, and it is going to help you. It's coming from, it's like angels are talking through them here. So, or your spirit guides are kind of, putting this message in their little mind and they're relaying it. Or they could be relaying information from the other side of this argument to you. Like, oh, well, Grandma said she's really sorry, or she wishes you would call her, or, it's something like that. Like, where you get information from a child, if that's how it's working out for you. If this isn't just, if this is an actual person, it's going to be a younger person who's quite young, quite innocent, probably under 9 or 10 years old. But it could be also just whatever happened. I think it happened innocently. So whoever offended someone else or whatever caused the argument, I don't think it was an intentional, whether it was you or someone else, it wasn't intentional. It just, somebody just kind of innocently walked into, maybe you told someone that you were moving, not even thinking that it would cause, a big hullabaloo. And boy, were you surprised. Now, if this hasn't happened yet, you could avoid all of it. That's why, that's when these readings really come in handy, right? When you get this in advance, it's like, hey, just maybe be careful how you share information or who you share it with if you're not ready to kind of deal with how people react to it. And you can avoid all of this altogether. But it's honestly not, it does not seem like an intense, we don't have any, huge breakdowns or anything like that here, Aries. This all seems, like just a misunderstanding, or somebody's just having a bad day, or, whatever. I actually think you're going to avert disaster. We do have the Tower over here, but it's in reverse. So this could kind of get out of control for some of you, but I think you're going to avert that. Now, what must be accepted? We've got the Six of Cups, which is adorable. It's got little bunnies on it. So yeah, this is, it's interesting because we've got the Six of Cups and the Page of Cups, both having to do with innocence, naivete. Somebody, there's a nostalgia and just a sweetness to this energy, the energy of both these cards. And so yeah, I feel like you're dealing with people in that, are connected to your childhood or that you've known for ages. So you're thinking a lot about the past. You're thinking a lot about maybe even your childhood or a time where you felt, I don't know, it's kind of like looking back and just, the rose-colored glasses and so you'd be seeing people from the past, you'd be spending a lot of time with people you've known since childhood. There could be a very nostalgic air to her. And again, some of you could be taking a trip with somebody that you've known, your whole life, a close family member or friend. And kind of what I'm feeling is you can look back on this, of course, and have nostalgia for it. But it's still like it's not done. There's still a lot of people from this time in your life, or there can be, and there can be a new beginning. There can be a gradual shift or change where maybe a lot of things have changed since then. Usually that's the case. But there's a way to kind of grow and regenerate this energy, not in the same way, but in a similar way. But you're looking to the past in order to move forward, Aries. And I think you're wanting to move forward with people who, or at least maybe one or two people who are from this past, or they could just be reappearing, right? After an argument. But yeah, the outcome is that Tower in reverse. So, a disaster averted. Like this could have gotten really out of control. And it does seem to have something to do with travel, moving, shifting or changing. I don't think for all of you, or for most of you anyway, it has to do with work, although it could for some of you. But I mean, we've got no pentacles. And if this were like a work change for most of you, I would expect to see at least one pentacle or certain rooms here on the table. I think we're dealing with moving on from one situation to another with some people, remnants from the past. Yeah, something remains, but we're shifting forward and we're gonna leave this in the past. So it's all about moving forward. How can we move forward and stay in each other's lives is what I'm thinking is kind of, if I had to break it down into a nutshell. But yeah, I think you are just putting the kibosh or the freeze on a situation before it escalates. So if this argument hasn't happened, or there is kind of like a reboot of an argument that happened earlier in the year, like you're going to shut it down before it gets, because it could be like, oh, I'm going to have to leave, or I'm going to say something I don't want to say, or I just don't want to deal with this today. So I'm going to, cut it off right now. So yeah, you are just kind of going to leave it where it's at, and you kind of leave the room or leave the building. Aries has left the building before things kind of maybe escalate into a bigger argument, because they don't need to go that way. And it does seem to have something to do with you moving on in some way, with you making this big shift or change. And for whatever reason, other people want you to stay back here, right? Because it's kind of like this tug of war going on here, Aries. Like you want to move forward and you don't want it to be either or. Like I can only move forward, but then I would have to separate from all of these people. No, why? I want to take these people with me, or I don't want to end these relationships, but I still have to move forward. It's like you want to move forward, but, still hang on to the remnants of the past that you like and that you enjoy, and the people that you enjoy from the past, and that you care about from your past. So yeah, it's like moving forward with a remnant of the past is what seems to be going on with you. It's really a positive reading, though. It just seems like, yeah, there's some people that maybe don't want to let you go, or they don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And I don't know, when, instead of when you're explaining it, or you're trying to explain it, you feel like you're being attacked for it, or, so you get a little defensive. But I don't know that they intended that way. Now, some of them might. Again, I'm talking to some people. It's going to be different people you're dealing with and different situations for all of you, but I don't think for most of you they intend it to seem like an attack. It's just coming from, they don't want to lose you, they don't want you to move away, they just, I think maybe are, they care about you, and they want you to make, to be happy and successful and make the best decisions for you. And for some of you, it's just you're moving away and they're going to miss you. So it is more about them. But how is this going to affect me, Aries? I do feel like, though they're not probably saying it that way, that's where maybe the argument, that kernel kind of begins here. But that's what I see here, Aries. Meet me over on Vimeo. I'm going to shuffle our Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. I want to see what further guidance and wisdom we can get from that deck about how you can handle these energies. That link again is below. So I'll see you on Vimeo, and we'll be back here on YouTube next month. Thanks for watching.